right, everyone, proofs. We are being given a parallel segments. We're also told that two angles are the same, and we need to prove that angles are parallel. So usually when you have to prove that angles are parallel, you have to come up with the name of the postulate that has either alternate interior angles being the same exact thing or corresponding angles being the same exact thing. Stuff along those lines is what we have to do. So let's make ourselves a rough draft like we normally do and see what we come up with. Now, before I go too far, I see that I have WX is parallel to YZ. So I'm going to extend these a little further just so I have a good visual of what I'm dealing with. Okay? Terrible job making a picture. I'm going to extend these so I can see what's going on. I'm going to do the same thing with this, same thing with that, same thing with this, same thing with that. Because by doing this, I kind of have a visual of what my types of angles are. Now, I'm first given 2 and 3 are equal. I'm also given that WX and YZ are parallel. So if WX, that one, and YZ are parallel, boom, I can take the fact that this guy is a transversal through two parallel lines. So let me say that. Let me do this. Boom, boom. This says that these two are parallel. I have my given, so this is step 1. That's step 1, given, blah, 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 blah. I know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 because if this is a transversal cutting through these two parallel lines, then 1 and 3 are going to be congruent because they're alternate interior angles. Okay. I need to somehow find a way to, well, hold on. This is actually good. Because I know that 2 and 3 are congruent, which means if 2 and 3 are the same and 1 and 3 are the same, then that means by transitive property, 1 is congruent to 2. So now I'm looking at this guy right here as a transversal to focus on and trying to get information about that line and that line. If I'm focusing as if that's my transversal, angle 1 here and angle 2 here being congruent to each other tells me that these two lines right here are parallel. Okay, so I'll explain why in a second. WY, which is this line, and XZ, which is that line, are parallel. And the reason why is these guys are corresponding angles to each other, and since their corresponding angles are congruent, I can say that these two are parallel by the converse of corresponding angles postulate. I know, that's super sloppy. So let's put it all together. Statements. Reasons. Statement number 1. WX segment is congruent to segment YZ. Also, angle 2 is congruent to angle 3, and that is the given. Step 2. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 because if these are parallel, then these are alternate interior angles. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 by definition of alternate interior angles. It's probably also called like the alternate interior angle postulate, something along those lines. But I already wrote that out, so you can't stop me. If 1 equals 2, if 2 equals 3 and 1 equals 3, then 1 equals 2 by the transitive property of equality. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Transitive property of equality. And last but not least, I have what I need to prove, that WY is parallel to XZ. And the reason why I use that is the converse of corresponding angles postulate. Cool. Not bad. Look, its bark was worse than its bite. Its bark was worse than its bite. All right, that should do it. Simple. 6.5 minutes. Bye.